Resident Evil Requiem is a real contender for Game of the Year, but the Platinum Trophy is no walk in the park. I'm talking about taking on the excruciating insanity difficulty without the luxury of an infinite ammo rocket launcher. I'm talking about a speedrun trophy done without healing and without using Grace's blood collector. I got way too close to a camper. I did it! This is a story of how I survived the Platinum journey for 2026's Game of the Year. If you enjoy watching me suffer for your entertainment, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into the nightmare. Soulsborne game at 1000 subs. Our story begins with Grace Ashcroft, an FBI analyst sent to investigate the Wrenwood Hotel where her mother was murdered 8 years ago. HR complaint, anyone? Once inside, we're greeted with pictures of ourselves and a key asking to meet in room 204. When reaching room 204, things immediately escalate into deranged stalker territory. After a quick flashback to 8 years prior, our mum hides something behind this picture, purely banking on the housekeeping being absolutely terrible. The manager gets the throat surgery he's been waiting for. Grace's mum performs a lobotomy, and her mum must have accidentally signed up for the same throat surgery. I think her trauma is justified. Back to today, and Grace heads down to retrieve whatever her mum hid behind the painting all those years ago. A pouch with a book and some sort of floppy disk. No inheritance. Kinda selfish in honesty. After some help from America's most helpful police officer, he chases us and leads us straight into Victor's arms.
Daddy, chill.
Immediately, Leon discovers what his friend meant when he said he's gotten good at picking up women. After battling our way through the streets, we pop the "Can I borrow this?" trophy for returning an enemy's weapon, followed by the Déjà Vu trophy for finishing this section. Next we're greeted with a rather sweaty and upside down Grace. This is our first look at how her side of the game will play out, sneaking around, avoiding larger enemies and trying not to die. Grace gets the fuse, attempts to make her escape, and we swap back to Leon. A doctor attempts a revolutionary procedure on Leon, but with hatchet in hand he parries it, which pops the Untouchable trophy. After clearing out the doctors by using their shiny loud toy, we find our first Mr. Racoon statue. Breaking it gives us The Hunt Begins. Leon's fun is cut short when Gideon reminds him who is the daddy in this relationship.
Daddy, chill.
The first thing we do as Grace is stash an item in the item box, giving us the Out of Sight, Out of Mind trophy. We head down into some sort of holding cells where we meet Emily. She is a very observant little girl, more than could be said for Grace. Grace swipes a keycard and we head towards the west wing. In the chairman's office we pick up the red jewel, take out a very peckish looking chairman and take his quartz from his weird safe thingy. This is one of 3 that's needed to open the door to get out of here. Why can't Resident Evil villains just use keys? We pop the red jewel into this door, which gives us access to some cabinets for some much needed resources. After finding a very handy gentleman in the corner, we get the keycard for the east wing, open up more of the map for us. I assist this doctor with his open head surgery and pick up a hemorrhagic injector. I sink it behind the chef, remind him that his food's terrible and that he literally explodes in anger, giving me 2 trophies, one for killing the chef, order up, and a second for killing the zombie with the injector, fatal dose. Now that chef is out of the way, it makes the west wing easier to navigate. I head back over to the east wing and find the blood collector, which is how Grace crafts items. After unlocking a recipe for Grace to craft, we pop the science trophy and craft something with blood for the power of blood. With the injector we just crafted, I sneak up behind this singing zombie and give my ears a break. This is one of 2 singing zombie kills needed for a trophy later on. I ignored this obvious door that I figured was bait at the time and go and grab this definitely not bait armband from the end of the hallway. Meet Chunk, weighing in at a shit ton and still being as agile as an Olympic gymnast. Time to run. Run fast, Grace. New security clearance in hand, I set out to see what all the locked doors we couldn't get through before have for us. After collecting what I could from these areas and continuing to craft, we popped this trophy, Blood More Blood, for using 300 blood samples. One of the things I crafted were 3 of the hemorrhagic injectors which used on Chunk, making pop to secure the Grace and Goliath trophy. I finally enter this room and find that the quartz puzzle is blocked by a padlock that we need to melt. Blocking the acid needed is the second singer. Once we take her out, it pops the deadly Duet trophy. Unfortunately, our plan is super obvious and Gideon is caught on, but also our super obvious hiding place is too much for him. Worst game of hide and seek ever. We collect the second quartz and head off to find the third. While searching for it, I picked our first lock for an easy trophy, like Mother Like Daughter. We end up finding an organ transport box which contains the artificial lungs, and honestly one of the better tradies I've seen comes crashing through the wall. After some beautiful aim with the Requiem, I panicked slightly, he goes down and we can get out of here. We pick up the artificial heart, which now means we can revive the zombie on the east wing. After he wakes up we send him back to sleep and grab his security armband to unlock one of the nearby gates. This leads us to the security manager's office, who's taking a bit of a nap. Unfortunately the symbols on the quartz safe have rubbed out, and rather than just press and see what comes up, Grace decides to go and ask Emily for help. On our way to pick her up, I make the blind zombie attack another zombie for the internal dispute trophy. She's happy to help and we guard the door while she reads the braille to put in the code. We aren't the only one excited that she's finished, and the girl enters the room like the Kool-Aid man and takes her away. Oh yeah! This pops the Descent into Darkness trophy as we finish this Grace section. Back with Leon, and Gideon is trying his best to give daddy vibes, but after we show some resistance and break free, he runs away with his tail between his legs. Definitely a bottom. Gideon's left the trunk behind for us to fight. After 3 minutes of running in circles and shooting it, it goes down. In the next room we upgraded one of our weapons for the tailor-made trophy, and finish off 3 zombies with the hatchet for the chop chop trophy. We clear a few waves of zombies and gain access to one of Gideon's laptops. This confirms that Sherry and Leon both have the T-virus, mentions something about Elpis, and shows a picture of Grace.
Grace? What's she gonna do with this?
Back to Grace in the underground. This was the most tense I felt throughout the game. We need to get 3 plugs to open the cells and free Emily. The issue being these plugs provide light and power to the area, so once we remove them we need to run into a new light area to stay safe from the girl. After sneaking around for a while, the girl startles me enough for a desk pop, which pops the Bring Out the Big Guns trophy for Stone New with the Requiem. After dropping in all 3 power plugs to open the cells, we need to run. Once reaching the elevator, I try to have 3 zombies lined up for a single Requiem shot, but unfortunately don't get it and just waste the ammo instead. Unfortunately for us, the girl is nothing if not persistent. She scales the side of the elevator shaft to chase us, manages to get a grip on Grace, who is hopping mad at the situation. Emily gives us a 3rd quartz for us to unlock the door to the outside. Once in the courtyard, we pop the It's Been a Long Night trophy. And find a helicopter. Everything is finally coming up Millhouse. Unfortunately, the pilot doesn't have the key. We head into the house to find his boss with the key. After rummaging around the fancy office for a while and attempting to drink a nice glass of wine, we find some double helix spring thing which solves the puzzle, turning this office into an elevator. This takes us down to some sort of zombie creating area. Who was that guy's boss again? Making our way through, we find an operating room which has the helicopter key. Gideon is here. Luckily he didn't hear us rummaging around in the room next to him. He's talking to some guy called Zeno and mentions Elpis will soon be in their hands. He shows off his impeccable hide-and-seek skills again and sets the lab to self-destruct. This wakes up the zombies that were sleeping so peacefully. They line themselves up nicely, and we finally get the 3 kills with a single Requiem shot for the trophy. Bang for your buck. After escaping this faithful Temple of Doom remake, we meet up with our helicopter pilot. Finally time to get out of here. Or not. Luckily Leon is done snooping on the laptop and conveniently has a sniper rifle.
Hello, gorgeous. Excuse me.
Leon catches up to Grace and Emily in the church. Emily doesn't feel so good, Mr. Stark. No time for being sick, as here comes a 17-year-old covered in acne, which when burst also reanimates zombies, a zombie if you will, gives them a blister head and makes them into a true undead nightmare. We run around in circles for a bit and eventually take it down. Now for honestly a really fun Grace section. We drop Emily off. Just lay there and try not to die, you little shit. We'll take care of the girl. Our objective here is to open the hatch, because the girl hates light. Of course it wouldn't be that easy though, so we have to restart 3 power distribution units while the girl hunts us down. This was easier than I thought it would be. I had a bunch of Requiem shots stored up. They stay on it for long enough for you to be able to sort out each of the levers. After getting all 3 done, we return up top to open the hatch. Emily, not feeling so good, Mr. Kennedy. Regardless of what you do here, Leon shoots a few rounds into it. Grace, unhappy with Leon potentially saving them, runs off into the darkness alone. Women, am I right? She runs straight into the arms of Gideon and Zeno, with a harsh reality unlocking as the silver lining. That's the last we're going to see of Grace for a while. Time for a big fan service, Leon section, heading back to where this all started from, Raccoon City. Pretty soon after arriving, Leon becomes the hunted, as Raccoon City seems to be set in Australia. After running around for a while and shooting her in the butt, she eventually goes down.
Oh, I miss our Raccoon City hospitality.
In the centre of Raccoon City we find a locked gate with explosives already strapped to it, but no detonator. Nearby there's an old BSAA camp. They've conveniently left us a location of the 3 parts. Switching the power on alerts Zeno and Gideon to the fact that Leon is there, but they don't really seem to care. Leon picks up a tactical tracker. This gives him rewards for killing zombies and will be given from the start of following playthroughs. After making our first purchase, we pop the retail therapy trophy. We fight our way through some zombies and pick up the first of the detonator part. Leon whips out his handy binoculars to help locate the other BSAA camp where the other parts are stored. While on our way to the second camp we find some dead BSAA operatives and we find a video that can speak for itself.
Man down! Man down! Jesus, fuck! Where is he? I'm fucking blind here! Oh, my fucking legs! Get cover! Get cover! Please help me! Holy shit!
He does not deserve to have this much loss. Luckily one was holding on to the container key. We find the second part which is broken, but one of the containers is said to have a repair kit along with a motorbike. On our way back to the camp we pop a trophy for our 300th zombie kill, Season Pro, and open the final BSAA crate for the Crate Expectations trophy. Leon takes a zip line to another building so we can get the final part of the detonator. We find some zombified BSAA agents, relax on some glass, definitely didn't mess up at any point, reach the final piece of the detonator. Now we just need to make it back to the gate. Luckily there's a lovely lift which definitely won't be horrible on insanity difficulty. Zombies like to drop in as you descend. After finishing the elevator and running past most of the zombies in the underground, we pop the going down trophy. Leon pops open the gate and decides to take the bike for a spin. Gideon is hiding nearby and sets his dogs on us. After spraying and praying for a bit, we pop the road rage trophy. After one of the most cinematic parts in the game, we send Gideon off the edge, and surely that's the last of him, right? This takes us to the centre of Racoon City and into the RPD. Quick bit of fan service and the trophy for arriving here pops. The hero returns. The welcome Leon banner is still here, along with a note from Zeno, don't poke the bear you fool. And conveniently they have just gotten here by the looks of the camera, so we just need to get past the rusted old sliding door, we jack it off and get through. Zeno shows Grace that she's actually been cloned multiple times to try and unlock Elpis, which he believes is some sort of mind control virus. This takes us into by far the creepiest section of the game. We're one of the clones sneaking around the orphanage. The others have gone crazy and bald, so we need to sneak through the orphanage while hiding from the deranged chemo patients. We make it to a trapdoor which takes us to the underground church, just to add to how creepy this is. We use some of the coffins to help us climb high enough, each one has another clone inside of it. After escaping them, we find ourselves in some sort of super clean lab. Yep, this place gets worse and worse. We find a projector, get knocked up by doctors, then disposed of. Grace, don't worry, I'm sure she's fine. Leon announces himself, but an old acquaintance drops in. After a quick chase sequence through the RPD, he runs away. Leon makes it to Kendo's gun shop and we get a heavy flashback. Someone he couldn't save as a rookie. Behind the shop, Mr. X is waiting for us, ready to get his ass beat. Honestly, the most fun boss fight in the game, which pops us, I remember that too, for finally dispatching him. Leon reaches the orphanage, which is a little bit less than structurally sound. While making our way down to where the Ark would be from the flashback, we're ambushed by a plant. Gardner really needs to find himself a new job. After popping all the baby plants, we pop not today buds. This understandably pissed off mummy plant, and after getting her acquainted with exploding barrels, she goes down, giving Leon access to the Ark door. Luckily the villains are dumb and don't even have ID scanning for this place, so Leon waltzes on in and pops the Umbrella's legacy trophy. Leon finds Grace on the cameras. Unfortunately, every agent that wants Leon dead realises that he's here. They use guns which can melt Leon's health pretty quickly, meaning we need to be a little bit more cautious than we have been with the zombies so far. Further in, we meet an agent that may or may not be hung, a melee battle where you have to parry up until he cheats and uses a gun. Honestly, such a fun fight, and more than a bit challenging on Insanity without upgrading your hat check. I may have raged a little in Insanity, but that's for later in the video. With him removed, Leon can make it to Grace and Zeno. Leon and Grace end up running away as Zeno kinda makes Leon look like a little bitch. Leon makes Grace promise she'll end this if he can, and we pop the final mission for getting to this part of the game. This takes us into the final Grace section. We have to sneak around to get the crane key to move this for Leon. Making this more difficult is the lookers. They're back and blinder than ever. As long as you're quiet, avoid the glass, and the non-blind zombies, you'll be fine. But if they hear you, GG, go again. We unlock the crane controls to make a path for Leon, then start collecting the balls to reach the end of Grace's gameplay. While on our way to collect the balls this door needs to fondle to let us through, we open our last safe for the No Safe is Safe trophy. We pop our final Mr. Racoon statue for the You Little Rascal trophy, and pick up the first ball for the door. The other one is back where we met the lickers for the first time. After grabbing the second ball, all the zombies wake up, but unfortunately for them, I really like my bacon crispy, so a Molotov deals with them pretty quickly. We can now get through the big door. Surprise, surprise, Grace is the centre of attention on the monitor. She pops up the floppy disk, really, a floppy disk, but we also found one much earlier. Thankfully, with all Grace has been through, she hadn't lost it somewhere. She pops it in and sees a file named Grace, but before we get to see that, it's Leon time. He's got himself a brand new mechanic, coughing up a lung like he's been smoking cigars for the last 50 years. He has his own liquors to get through. After parrying one, we get the trophy for cutting its tongue off. Cat got your tongue. Leon easily grabs the key for the elevator. After using the key to summon the elevator, all the lickers from the ceiling decide to attack. This isn't too difficult and they're quickly dealt with. Leon makes it to the door that he needs to and finally collapses. This takes us back to Grace and shows Grace that she was actually adopted and that she's Spencer's hope. She then notices the collapsed Leon and we run to him. Grace helps him through the door and Zeno makes us put in the password for Elpis. I first destroy Elpis knowing it's not the correct answer, but was morbidly curious.
What did you do?
What I had to.
Grace, get out of here! Go! Right behind you!
Leon! What are you doing? Come on!
At least I could save you.
No! I wish I could have saved you, Leon.
Now with that ending out of the way, we pop 2 trophies, Rising Agent and Rookie Agent for casual and standard mode. Because Capcom thought people may not pay attention to the story, they offer up a redo. This time we release Elpis with the password Hope, the theme of this game, because Elpis is a cure. Gideon removes Zeno's head. Thankfully, we don't need to fight a guy that dodges bullets like he's Neo. Grace cures Leon, and he takes on Gideon. After parrying and shooting him in the face, he falls off the side, but of course there's a second phase. There's always a second phase. This version of the boss comes down to parry the smack, shoot the balls until a QTE pops up to finish it off.
Grace, where are you? Sherry. Sherry, come in. Sherry. Shit. Grace! Grace, hang on. Fuck. Grace. Grace.
Leon.
We need to get you out of here. Come on. Let's get you out.
There's no way out, is there?
I'm gonna sit right here with you.
I guess this is it then.
Leon S. Kennedy?
Depends who's asking.
Alpha, you read me, sir? Yeah, they're safe. I got them. Yes, sir. Mr. Kennedy, I have a message from Captain Redfield.
I'll be damned. Can't believe that antiviral actually worked. Feel better than I have in ages.
Oh, thank God. I'm glad you're okay.
You got a dose with your name on it. We'll be back in action in no time.
Thank you, Leon.
Would have been a lot smoother if Chris hadn't been so late to the party.
Where is Chris, anyway?
No idea. I'm sure I'll run into him at some point. Yeah, I'll call you back. It's over then.
Yeah. Hope this really was our last hope.
Oh, let's pray Umbrella hasn't left us any more nasty surprises.
I wish we could have saved Emily.
Grace, I didn't hit any of her vitals. She could still be alive.
What are you saying?
Maybe we can save her.
The government has confirmed the existence of an actively trading bioweapons lab located here in the ruins of Racoon City. The origin point for the worldwide spread of bioorganic weapons. This illegal facility appears to have been in operation for decades.
Sources say that the extension of the lockdown and the recent series of mysterious deaths may be related to tragic events in Racoon City 28 years ago.
Evidence seized in Racoon City has led the Justice Department to reopen its investigation into Oswald Spencer and the long-defunct Umbrella Corporation. Some believe the government deliberately drove Umbrella into bankruptcy.
The late Alyssa Ashcroft is credited with cracking the Oswald Spencer story. Conspiracy theorists are already claiming that she was killed in a cover-up, and that the organization responsible is secretly controlling our government.
Tonight, in a speech from the Oval Office, the president is expected to reject allegations of any government involvement since the Racoon City incident.
And Sherry's okay? Oh, good. I'm so glad. Emily, yeah, she's doing great. I'm actually teaching her how to read.
Grace. Grace. Where's that report?
Sorry. Leon, gotta go. Catch up soon.
Remaining BSAA forces have been neutralized. Retrieving the objective before they send in the wolves.
This pops another trophy for finishing the game by releasing Elpis, Hope and Requiem. This leaves us with a little bit of cleanup before the Insanity playthrough. Started off by viewing all the models for an easy trophy, Model Mania. Start off a new playthrough to grab the trophy for Final Collectible. Yes, I legitimately missed the first collectible of the entire game. Saving with an ink ribbon as I didn't realise this could be done in Insanity mode quite yet. Started up a new casual run to target beating the game without healing, using the blood collector, and within under 4 hours. While on our way to completing that, we popped the trophy for using 200,000 credits with Leon, credit where credit is due, and craft the last collectible with him for the Master Craftsman trophy. As we reach the end of the game, I've kept my finger as far away from the heal button as I could the entire time, throwing away heals whenever getting them just to be safe. Rather than take the coward's way out, we release Elpis and roll the credits, me not knowing how close I'd be until the end screen popped up. Pop in, Never Touch the Stuff, Minimalist, and Speed Demon, all at the same time for some pure dopamine. I did it! Back to the menu to grab the last of the concept art for Curator. Because I bought all the concept art and 3D models earlier, we don't have enough to take the easy way out for Insanity mode. Insanity mode was honestly a massive step up over RE8's Village of Shadows difficulty. The guild is more aggressive when you're playing as Grace, ink ribbons are mandatory unless you've unlocked the infinite ink ribbon, zombies are harder to kill, more aggressive, and have been moved around so any muscle memory you've gained is out the window. The girl in the Grace section, on top of being more aggressive, is also not stunned as long by the Requiem, and she likes to drop in at new places, honestly scaring the life out of me more than a couple of times. After dealing with the meat grinder section with Grace, we popped the trophy for collecting 5,000 microsamples of blood with Grace, Bloodlust. This leaves just 2 trophies, finishing the game on Standard Classic and Insanity mode. The sniping portion was a challenge, as not only does Grace have zombies you need to shoot, but 2 spawn up with Leon. After realising they weren't spawning out of my ass, and were actually sat around, I popped them before engaging with Grace's zombies. Hunk. Now there's a fight that without the hatchet upgrade I felt like was slapping him with a wet noodle. I swear I hit him 40 times without him dropping, resisted the urge to give my controller the same eventual fate as him. Gideon's first phase was a lot of fun, even getting in some clean parries in from time to time. His Nemesis phase was a different story. I was here with a maximum of 2 hits before dying. I had such little room for error and it felt like these balls kept dodging my bullets. Enjoyed the rage followed by this successful attempt.
I just can't fucking hit them. Fucking blue, man. This is fucking bullshit. I'm fucking... Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Sharpen Leon. This cunt does not sharpen his fucking shit quick enough. Okay, it's done.
This secures our final prize, the Requiem Platinum. This is my favourite Resident Evil game I've played so far. The jump between 8 and 9 is incredible. This deserves Game of the Year nomination. Grace's voice actress deserves a nomination for Best VA. She was incredible throughout. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy the video on the bottom left, and the Resident Evil playlist and the Platinum Trophies playlist are around the screen.